Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello. Hello, how are you today? My apologies, I am a little bit late today. I could not get my audio to work. So if you are watching this and you cannot hear me, please let me know because I was having trouble with the audio this morning. I don't know what was going on. So please let me know if you cannot hear me. So before we go any further, we are going to talk today about 5 reasons you are not attracting enough clients. And there could be many reasons for that, but we are going to talk about 5 reasons I see every day when I talk to people. So we're going to go over those and how you can fix them. So if you can't hear me, please let me know. If you can hear me, please let me know because my audio was not working this morning. So anyway, we're going over 5 reasons you are not attracting enough clients. So before we go any further, I just want to introduce myself in case you don't know me. My name is Lisa Balthaser. I am a business coach and consultant, and I work with coaches, course creators, and online service-based business owners to help them grow and scale their business, implement winning systems and processes, and attract more clients that create repeatable revenue processes for their business. So I help them implement all of those things, put that together so that they can experience ease and flow in their businesses. So also, I am an automation specialist. So if you guys don't know, I am an automation specialist. So I can help people with funnels and automating their business also. So today, though, we are talking about 5 reasons you are not attracting enough clients in your business or to your business, I should say. So there's 5 things that I see a lot when I'm talking to people, and I wanted to talk about those today. I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in order of, I guess, importance. The last one being probably the most important, but they're all very important. So the first thing that I see is you are not clear on your ideal client avatar. You're not clear on your ideal client avatar. So this could be that you just didn't take enough time to really understand them. So you have a general idea who they are and you're speaking to them generally, but you don't really know them inside and out. And inside and out is how you need to know your ideal client when you are marketing to them. Because when you know them inside out, that's how you're going to attract them. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about under that category is the who. Who is it that you are serving? Okay. So many entrepreneurs have a wide niche. They think they've niched down a lot, but they really haven't. They have a wide niche. So when you have a wide niche and you're speaking to a large number of people, you're not really hitting them in the heart, which is where you need to hit them in order for them to truly connect with you as a business owner and understand that you can help them solve the problem. So understanding exactly who they are is super important. And that's, the things that are important to them. So that comes into next thing is the what. And what challenges do they have? What concerns do they have? What is important to them? So when you are not clear about your ideal client avatar, you're not really understanding what is truly challenging them in their business, and you're not understanding what their true concerns are. Here's the thing with understanding your ideal client avatar. They may tell you they have a certain concern, but their true concern may be a little bit deeper than what they're telling you, or maybe something totally different that they're not saying, or maybe they don't even recognize. That's why you need to dig deep with the people that you work with and understand really who they are as an individual, as a person. What is important to them? What challenges do they have? What concerns do they have? If you work with parents, one of the concerns or challenges could be they are homeschooling their child during the day and they're trying to run a business. So these are things that you need to understand very clearly about your ideal client avatar. Who they are, what are their challenges, what are their concerns, what's important to them. So maybe they're homeschooling their child and that is important to them. That is also a piece that you need to understand about them. Okay. Because all of this, when you're talking about your ideal client and you're really trying to connect with them, all of these things are super important in connecting with them. The next thing under the you're not clear about your ideal client avatar is where. And I'm not talking about where they are located. I don't teach the typical ideal client avatar, where they live, what kind of car they drive. To me, those things are totally irrelevant. And what is more important is, where are they in their business? Where are they in their business? Are they at the beginning? Are they somewhere in the middle? Or are they a higher level? Who is it that you're targeting? Where are they in their business? Because when you understand where they are in their business, you will understand how to talk to them. So if your ideal client avatar is a mid-level person, you're starting it, you're over here talking about, oh, the struggles of finding clients and this, that, and the other. That may not work because they've already figured that piece out. Okay. So you have to be really clear on not only who they are, but where they are in their business, their attitudes, are they go-getters? Are they willing to do what it takes? All those things are so important. I really focus on the psychographics when I'm working with clients, as opposed to the demographics. Demographics are important, but psychographics are so much more important. And where they are in their business is so much more important than where they live, because it's really irrelevant unless you have a local business. Okay, so the next piece that I want to talk about when you're not clear about your ideal client avatar is their why. Why do they want a solution? Why is it important to them? So if they are homeschooling their kids, okay, and that's important to them, that's an important piece to them, but they also want to be able to earn a living from home so that they can do that, then that thing is their why. Being able to homeschool their kids is their why. They want to be able to give that to their children. They want to be there for them. Those are things that you need to understand about your clients. Hair color, what car they drive, like what, where they live. Do they live in the suburbs? That, to me, that stuff has always been irrelevant. I never understood why that's important. I guess to some people, where they live could be if it's a local business. The only thing that makes a difference, that does make a difference in the demographics, is maybe the age group that you're talking to, and the social status could come into play. So income level could come into play, because it can affect how people interact and speak to each other. Okay, so you do have to know certain things, but what kind of car they drive, that may be important to determine their income level. But aside from that, it's kind of irrelevant. So who they are. So reason number one, you're not attracting enough clients is you don't have a really clear picture of who your ideal client avatar is. Okay. Number two is your copy, meaning what you put out to the world, your website, your social media. It does not clearly identify your ideal client avatar. So when you have a really, really good understanding of your ideal client avatar, then you will be able to speak to that person. And remember, when you are putting content out to the world, you are speaking to one person. You have to have one person in mind that is your ideal client avatar. You speak directly to that person. When you do that, you attract all others. If you're speaking in general terms, it's really hard for people to identify themselves and put themselves in the place of the big they. I hope that makes sense. So in your copy, and by copy, um, that is, that can be anything you put out to the world, anything. So are you naming them? Are you calling them out by who they are? And by that, I mean, when I identify who I'm speaking with, I will say coaches, service-based business owners, and course creators. That's specifically calling them out. That's saying exactly who I'm looking for. Okay, so if you are not clearly identifying who they are in your copy, and this is what you put out to the world, they may not identify themselves in your copy. Okay, but when you're saying, hey, are you a coach? They're going to go, yeah, I'm a coach. So they'll stop. It stops them. It makes them pay attention because you've just called them out. Okay. And when you are talking, so when you're not talking about who they are, they just have a hard time seeing themselves as your client. Okay. And the next thing I want to talk about is the transformation. And your copy needs to clearly identify the transformation that you provide for them. Okay, so remember, back in the you are not identifying your ICA, you don't have a clear understanding of your ICA. When you don't clearly understand your ICA and you're not really clear on where they are in their business, it's hard for you to talk about the transformation that you provide because you need to know where they are now and where you're taking them. Okay. And that's something that needs to come out in your copy. That's something that they need to understand so they can self-identify. Okay. So even if you're not saying the who, you're still calling out, hey, are you a coach and you have some clients, but you plateaued and you just can't seem to break past that point? That's clearly identifying where they are in their business and who I'm talking to. Okay, so I'm not talking about the new coach that doesn't have anybody. I'm talking about somebody that has clients, but they just can't get past that point. Okay, so you need to clearly identify that transformation. So what I would go into then is how, after working with me, I will show you how to better attract more qualified leads and clients. Qualified is a key because just attracting leads doesn't mean they're going to be clients unless you've already qualified them in some way. So when I work with clients, I help people to write copy that clearly identifies them, calls them out, shows the transformation, and speaks directly to that person. Now, the other thing I want to point out here, and this is something that I've held classes on, I have done reviews for people on this. This is so important. And this was kind of an afterthought when I put together this training, because I was going through some profiles yesterday and I came across this several times within a matter of a few minutes. And when I say your copy does not clearly identify your ideal client avatar, that copy includes your profile. Okay? Your profile. When you have a profile that is optimized, okay, it is very clear who you are talking to and the transformation that you provide. If your profile does not state anywhere who you are, what you do, and the transformation that you provide, people don't automatically know that. So say you're a wellness coach, okay? I'm just going to use that as an example today. Say you're a wellness coach, but you help people that have pre-diabetes control their blood sugar so that they don't have to get on medication. But that's your audience. That's your clearly defined audience, okay? But on your profile, you just have, you're a wellness coach, you're not calling out the exact people that you are trying to find. So when they come to your profile, they don't know that you're the one they need to talk to. Okay. So not only do you need to call them out in your copy, you need to call them out on the copy on your profile. You need to be very clear in your cover photo, in your about section. You need it to be very clear who it is that you are looking for. Okay. So it's not just the copy that you put out, it's the copy that people are seeing, the copy on your website, everywhere you show up. Okay, so they have to self-identify. And all of these things are kind of related, but I see them as a little bit different. So we're going to talk about them today. So I just want to pause for just a moment and let you guys know that I have a workshop coming up the week of the 15th in my Facebook group, Entrepreneur Empowerment. And the workshop is about creating an irresistible lead magnet. Now, we will go into some of these things in that workshop. We are going to help you identify exactly who that person is so you can call them out in the copy that you are providing for your lead magnet and in creating that perfect lead magnet for them. Okay, because you really have to know who they are in order to create that lead magnet. So we're going to go through that whole process the week of the 15th in my Facebook group, Entrepreneur Empowerment. So if you're not in there, get in there. I certainly would love to have you. It's a free workshop, so anybody can join. I didn't even put this out to the world yet because I'm updating the training. Okay, I want to make it a little bit better. So, okay, end of pause. So the next thing, number 3, the third reason you are not attracting enough clients is that you don't understand. You just don't understand your ideal client avatar. So in order to really speak to that person, you need to understand both their wants and their needs. And there's a difference. Okay. So often when we talk to people in our businesses, we're the experts. So we're listening to them and we know just by listening to them exactly what they need. So we give them that solution. The problem is that they think they need something else because they didn't connect what they are saying they want with the actual need. And I hope this makes sense, guys, because I see this a lot and I've been guilty of this myself. So I just want to call it out. Here's the thing. So people come to me all the time and they'll say things like, I feel invisible online, or I'm not getting enough interaction. I'm not getting enough engagement. What they really want are clients. That's what they need. They need the clients, but they're saying they want the engagement. The engagement can lead to clients, but not necessarily. So they're two very different things. So you have to understand when you're talking to prospective clients, what they are telling you they want as opposed to what they actually need. And when you're diagnosing in your head when you're talking to them, you have to understand that if you provide a solution based on your own diagnosis of the problem and not their own understanding of it, there's a disconnect. So you have to have a clear understanding of what they think they want and what they actually need. And you have to speak to what they want. What's going to happen is when they come to work with you or when they have a conversation with you, you're going to connect it to what they actually need. And you're going to help them to see that. Okay. But before that conversation happens, unless you're connecting it in some of the copy that you put out to the world, and you can do that, they may not see the connection. So when somebody's talking about visibility over here and I'm over here talking about clients, there's a disconnect. Okay, even though they understand they need clients, but in their head they're thinking, well, nobody sees me. Okay, so you have to be really, really clear on the difference between what they want and what they actually need, and how to connect it in a way that they understand that their want is the solution that you provide to what they actually need. So you have to connect everything for them. So you have to speak to the want and then provide what they need. Speak to the want and provide what they need. Because that solution, that's what they need. That's what's going to move the needle. If you give them, you can speak to what they want, but if you give them only what they want instead of what they need, there's going to be there's not going to be a win. And that doesn't make any sense. So you're going to speak to the want because that's what they understand. Then you're going to help them to see, whether it's through conversation, through messaging, through your copy, you're going to help them understand what it is they really need. Okay, I hope this makes sense, guys. So again, we are going to cover some of this stuff in the workshop to create an irresistible lead magnet, because all of this is important in attracting people to your lead magnet, just as it is to selling a product or service. When you are selling your lead magnet, you are selling it. You are selling it just like you're selling your high ticket offer. So you have to think about it the same way. Okay. So the fourth thing is you are not speaking and writing in a language they use. So you can be addressing the issues, okay? But if you were talking about, like, I use the word leads a lot. And people know what leads are, but if I use the word prospect, which is what like a lot of insurance people and professionals use, people may not connect with that word. So if I'm saying, oh, you can get more prospects doing this, that, or the other, and they're like, the heck is a prospect? I mean, they know what it is, but they don't think of it as something that they need. If you are not using their language, this is why you need to know them inside and out, how they speak, how they talk. And this is where the income level may come into play in how they speak about things. Okay. It may come into play, not always, but it may. And I just want you to be aware of that, because that's not something that I use a lot in my marketing, is the income level, car they drive, thing like that. But you do need to know the type of people that you are talking to, so you know how to communicate with them effectively. And really, it's all about communicating effectively. So to figure out what language they use, you can do some social listening, hang out in some Facebook groups that have your ideal client, get on the phone with a few people and say, hey, can you just tell me, I'm not trying to sell you today. I just want to know, can you tell me in your own words what's going on in your business? Or can you tell me in your own words how you would describe this problem? Talk to people, get the language down, because when you speak their language, they will connect with you. Okay. So what are they saying to their clients? What are they saying to their clients, to potential clients, to their audience? You have to know these things. Speak their language. If you say you serve, and I'm going to use health and wellness professionals again. So say you serve health and wellness professionals, and you're trying to sell a marketing program, such as something I would have. And I do help health and wellness professionals, but that's not the only people that I serve. But say it's the only people that you serve, or maybe you serve dental practices, and you're over here talking about something that with entrepreneurs are dealing with, getting clients, and there's just no connection at all. So you have to get the language down, understand the terminology that they use for things, and don't insert jargon from the industry. And I am guilty of that. I think we all are at times, but just be conscientious of it. Okay. This last thing here is so important. Okay. And I see this all the time. And I had something happen to me within the past week or two that made me really think about this long and hard. So reason number 5 that you are not getting enough clients, and this could be happening to you, is that you are not showing up as a leader and an authority in your field. And you may say, well, Lisa, how do I do that? I'm putting out great content. I obviously know what I'm talking about. So how is it that I may not be showing up as an authority? There's a couple things that I want to talk about with being an authority online, because I do help people with this also. Being an authority online isn't just the content that you put out to the world. It's not just the blog posts you write. It's not the content itself. Okay. It's a presence. It's being. Okay. So you have to be the authority and the leader. You have to show up that way. And it shows up in your body language, in your confidence. There's like a whole lot of ways that it shows up. Okay. So your copy must reflect your leadership and authority in your field. So, and that includes your website, your social media. That includes when you talk about what you do to people that you interact with online. Okay. You have to show up as the expert, not just an expert, but the expert that they need to know. Okay. You can't waver. I mean, yes, there are people that do what you do, and maybe the person you're speaking with is served better by someone else. And in that case, you just tell them. Okay. You just tell them, oh, this is where you're really good, but I think you can use this other person, and refer them over. But you need to show up as an authority online, and that is in your written content. Okay. And it's also in doing live videos. You have to be an authority. You can't show up on a live video and not know what you're talking about, or be floundering around and unsure of yourself, and I hate to say this, when you come on a live video and you're nervous, and I know a lot of people are. So, and I did a lot of practice to get where I am today. So I get it. I do. I totally get it. But practice until you're showing up as an authority, as a leader, as the person that they need to talk to, the person. Okay. And when you are networking, and this is another thing that I want to address here, when you are networking, I know networking is tough sometimes, because not only are you looking for potential clients, you're looking for potential referral partners, and maybe somebody that you can JV with. So networking it's threefold. It really is. And it's hard, because you show up, and if you show up and you're vulnerable about something, then you may risk showing up as a leader and authority. But in order to get to who you need to talk to, you may need to be vulnerable that day. If you show up as a leader and authority, okay, and other people perceive you as a leader and authority that's way ahead of them, but maybe you're not. But it's a perception. It's all perception. They may shy away from connecting with you. Okay. So there's a fine line to walk with networking, because in networking, you're really looking for a bunch of different things. Now, ideally, your ideal client will understand that you are not perfect. Nobody is. They will understand that you can help them. Okay. They will understand that you are ahead of them. But they will also understand that There's things that you may not know. That is an ideal client that you would want to work with. And that's a realistic expectation. But if they if they show up and they expect you to know everything and then they discount you because you don't know one thing, they're probably not being realistic, and maybe you're not showing up as an authority the way you need to. Okay, so these are all things to look at. Okay, so those five reasons you're not attracting enough clients. You're not clear about your ideal client avatar. Your copy does not clearly identify your ideal client avatar. Those are two different things. One is you don't get it, and the other is you're not connecting it to what you're writing. And the third thing is you don't understand your ideal client avatars. You're not communicating in a way that talks about the wants that they tell you to the needs that they actually have. You're not speaking to the want and providing the need. Okay. And the next thing is you're not speaking and writing in the language that they use. So you have to really understand the language, how they talk about the problem, how they talk about what they see as a solution or the transformation that they want to experience. Okay. And the last thing is that you're not showing up. You may not be showing up as a leader and authority that you need to show up as. It's really important for you to show up as a leader, because people want to work with people that they perceive to be successful, or they perceive to have figured it out. I guess success isn't a good indicator because everybody has a different definition, but they need to understand that you have figured this thing out that they need help with. Okay. So you need to show up as a leader, as an authority. Okay. So those are the 5 things. And again, I want to remind you, in my Facebook group, Entrepreneur Empowerment, we do have an upcoming workshop to create an irresistible lead magnet coming up the week of August 15th. Join. I'm so excited. I'm really looking forward to teaching this. I love teaching this. And I'm going to do at least 1 or 2 implementation days, which we'll get on Zoom. And if you have questions, you can run things by me and get my feedback. So I want to try at least 2 days like that, because I think it's really important to get this right. Okay. So that is what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this training. If somebody you know needs to hear this, please share the group. Because I definitely, these are the kinds of things that we talk about in my group. Not only this, we talk about automation. We talk about a whole lot of things. My strengths are really getting that signature offer in place, having the repeatable revenue, building those systems so that you can attract the leads and clients and focus on the things that matter more in your business than always scrambling to get the leads and clients. Okay. So that's what I have for you today. Again, this is Lisa Balthaser with Fleur de Lisa Solutions. You have a fantastic day.